The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us. Leeds got angry this past week.
They did. I think. Wait, hold on. Yeah, they just scored again.
They're still scoring goals.
Yeah, right now they're still scoring. Yeah, like 2 points at the top of the league. I love it. We are way more. Wow, Arsenal beat the piss out of Man City. Good Lord.
Yeah, but you're right. We can jump around for a minute.
No, we are. I wanted to get the. So how many matches there are? 23 teams times 2. Okay.
There was but the.
So how many games? We've played 30. 46.
And again, where the last game, even though it points wise kept us 2 points up, our goal differential now is we're at 41. Sheffield United's at 20. Burnley's at 27.
We have scored more goals than almost the next two teams combined.
Yes, yeah. And nobody else is anywhere close.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
So it's.
Yeah, there's only 15 matches left in the season.
Yeah.
So, and we've got, I think the only team we play, who's third? Middlesbrough?
Fuck you, I was just there.
Yeah, me too.
No, Burnley's third.
Sheffield United second. So we're done with Burnley, and we've got a match against Sheffield United. Other than that, we just have to keep on keeping on.
Yeah. I think February I think is going to be the ultimate determination.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Leading up to that Sheffield United game.
You go to Watford, you go to Sheffield twice, but one of them's one of them's a cup match, right?
Right, yeah, at Millwall.
At Portsmouth, at QPR.
Oh no, sorry, Millwall's coming to Ellen Road, but that's a cup game.
And it looks like home and away, it's the same. Again, we're pretty healthy. Meslier did not do anything crazy. Again, I just watched the highlights.
Well, there's a really good article on The Athletic that talks about how the Leeds defense should be getting more credit for where they're at than they really are.
I've been saying that.
Right,
I've been saying, they haven't given up.
But it's
more than a goal, except the draw to Hull City. That's it.
Yeah.
They're giving up a goal a game.
Correct.
Or nothing.
And
fuck you, Charlotte Flair.
Sturrock might be back next week, so he didn't have a huge injury, so that's looking good.
I can never remember the other guy's name that plays defense back there.
Is it still Rodon?
The other cat. Ampadu, because they move him all over the fucking place.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Ampadu. Oh, no.
So but yeah, it's, barring...
That's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. Well, you called it.
Anything drastic. Oh, hey, Mommy.
Well, the way that they're playing, and they're not, and it's... Let me just put it this way. I mean, particularly the last game, it wasn't like it was forced.
Gruev's the other guy.
Yeah, but they're playing real loose. They're not playing tight. Yeah,
and so completely comfortable is where you want to be.
I don't see it being. Yeah, I mean, as long as you said, as long as they keep on keeping on.
I love the fact that
the points will come their way.
Correct. That for the middle, not the defenders or the goalies. Everybody else, we have almost a direct backup behind them. like almost
Yeah.
2 squads. Tanaka, Rothwell, then you've got Solomon there.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? God, man, I forgot about Ramzani. That's the other one. Brendan Harrison first. You've got Dan James, Noto. God, Sturrock played too. He got 12 minutes off the
Yeah.
bench this past
Yeah.
weekend.
He should be
Byram,
starting
Vogel,
this week though. Yeah.
Vober, and he hasn't even getting a run out. Like, we have backups to backups to backups. Like, we should be fine. And we're spreading the wealth with goals.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, it's not like we are waiting. Wow.
But that's what you saw in this past game of like Dan James was every fucking where.
I think he's
And
found his spot. He can score goals, but he's that.
I think he's really good at setting up.
Yeah, exactly. Like beating a defender.
Yeah.
And getting the ball in the box.
Yeah, and crossing it in. Yeah.
But he also has he can cut in and get a shot off in his, what do they say, in his locker as
Right.
well.
And I think that's where again, eventually it's going to come. I mean, the praise comes down to Farka in that when he moved Aronson behind Peru, and then so when if it's one of those where you need that charging shot, Aronson's there. Peru's there if you need, if it drops down and
Yeah,
just
he's
like
the focal point.
yeah,
My favorite thing is how fluid those 3 guys are. Dan James and Aronson and Solomon. Like,
Yeah.
they all play all over the place. And Peru's
you
just...
mean a triangle?
Peru's just like the windshield wiper at the top, just going back and forth, whatever side the ball's on.
It's crazy because it's functioning like you're watching like a Ted Lasso episode.
Yeah, no, it is. Because
And then, but it's like, and there's no mystery to it. It's not like Farka's trying to trick anybody. Like, you know what's coming.
I love the fact that they press, but here's the thing with them pressing now as opposed to pressing under Bielsa. Bielsa was nonstop, and you could tell that in the end of games. Here they're more selective with the pressing.
Yeah.
They'll sit back, but if there's a loose touch or something, or they just gave the ball away, but they all move up as one, they all move back as one. Like, it's... Yeah, they're...
Well, and
What's the word I'm looking for? Structured.
correct. And the other thing that aids that is they have a solid back defensive
Correct.
line.
Yep.
Which, under Bielsa, whether it was his design or not, too many of them pushed too
No,
forward.
he loved to get his
Yeah, like
defensive
Ailing.
backs
Yeah.
up forward, and
Yeah.
I hate it.
Which, of course, I think that's what.
Unless you're going to play 5 at the back.
Yeah.
But
But that's what's helped, Furpo, is that, you're not running up and down
Yeah.
the whole pitch. You can stay in your range.
Furbo works if Sturrock's back and
Yeah.
Ampadu is in the midfield.
Yeah.
Because Ampadu knows how to play defense clear. He starts back there. So if Furpo goes up, he can cover.
Right.
If not,
And
it's working now, but Furpo
And no
hasn't
offense
been-
to,
did he start this week?
our old
Oh, yeah, he did.
our old favorite guys, but this is why when you see, unfortunately, when they allow, Liam Cooper to exit, Ailing moves on, and then we replace them with younger athletic guys.
Exactly. Still talented.
Yeah. But it's I do love it now. You're seeing those dudes that either, were struggling with staying with the team,
Yeah.
and that stuck it out. Lil Willie, Aronson coming back in when, Ellen Road was very hostile to Americans.
And Willie Noto came back in after aggressively saying, I want the fuck out.
Right.
And that shows the mentality. Willie Noto, we know he's a brown Italian. Of course, that guy's got thick fucking skin.
Yeah.
But I love for Aronson to be able to
I think
shoulder the burden of, hey man, you're an American and you're at Ellen Road, plus you were a little sketchy on if you wanted to stay or not.
yeah.
And he just, okay, I'm staying.
And your
Let's
other
go.
boys didn't help with that. Again,
Right.
granted,
McKinney was on loan, so
Right.
whatever. But Tyler, good for real quick shout out. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's back. He's
Yeah.
playing great. Good
stay
for
healthy,
you.
please.
Please, fucking Christ, stay healthy. God damn.
Because you're
I've been
going to be a
looking-
center cog for Potch, please.
Okay, you know what? We're just going to go there. Real
Yeah.
quick. I was thinking about our national team
Yes.
and looking around Europe now, like, who's our goalie? Is it still Turner?
Yeah, I think he's
For
the
another cycle?
It's his job to lose.
What was the
yeah.
other guy? Stefan?
The
brown guy?
Yeah, he's like third, but then there's Horvath
Oh, he's the other.
is second
My
string.
thing is, if... Oh, look at Sammy saying he's like a... Oh, there you go. If the defense can hold up, and if our superstars, the Aaronsons, the Pulisic's, the Wes McKinney's, the Timothy Ways, the Mooses, like I just ran off half a fucking team, are willing to suffer because the United States isn't going to keep the ball against big teams in the World Cup. They're not. They're just not.
No, you're right. Yeah.
If we can suffer.
Well, I think what you just pointed out is, and of course, what is the ultimate irony is, our American strikers, when they've moved over to the Italian, or even Spain, like they've done really well.
Yes.
They just don't do well in the Premier League.
Again, I call the
Now,
Premier League meathead.
But that's what it's like. But that's why I like Anthony Robinson staying in the Premier League as a defender. Is that if you can defend in the Premier? Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You know how I feel.
I know,
Anthony.
yeah. And
but he's showing out. He's balling.
yeah.
Yep.
But if you can defend really well in the Premier League, you can defend anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's we've talked about it.
But I think it's like that's where I and again I'm always going to love the choice of bringing Poch in because I think Poch understands that stuff. Like so he's going to promote strike or forwards to play in like the Spanish or the Bundesliga
the
or
Poch. He's not
an idiot
or boxed into a style of play.
Yeah.
Bielsa's a little rigid. Your Klopp is a little like he knows he wants to work. Poch has worked with several different teams and he's been able to
in several different leagues as well. Yeah.
Adjust play styles and personnel and formations. Because he even went to a Champions League final with Tottenham, right?
Right, yeah.
We watched it in the pool. That was Poch.
Yeah. Yeah, because
no.
Or was it? Yeah, I can't remember.
Tuchel?
No, that was with Chelsea. Tuchel was with Chelsea, right?
Oh, and he won it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I think it was Poch.
Yeah, I think you're right.
At any rate, he was still with a top club in England.
Well, no, and I think like too is that now again, granted, international play you can do a Bielsa model and it doesn't burn you, as
Correct.
Uruguay showed last round.
They're gonna be scary good,
right?
At the next major,
because you're not playing every fucking week and cup games and shit like that. So, but yeah, I do believe. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. And as you talked about,
did you watch any of the games that they just played?
Just highlights.
So did I. I wanted to know. I didn't know anybody. I mean, I knew the MLS guys on the team.
Yeah. I mean, like we don't pay attention until we get into the nitty gritty of it.
I don't care who the prospect is playing.
But I mean, Poch has been around enough,
right? He has a philosophy.
He can also direct those players internationally.
Right.
And we talked about that when he got hired, is that he's got feelers out everywhere. And, of course, like the beauty part, too, was that when he was at Tottenham or Chelsea, he worked with the women's national coach.
He did that. He was at PSG, too, right?
Yeah. But him and the U.S. women's coach were on the same club doing their respective genders.
And
so they've already collated.
That's how you build a system.
Correct.
Which is what
the U.S. desperately
Klinsmann tried to do.
The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media. Produced and edited by Ben Grimion. Marketing by Brock Ryder. Graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion. Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.